everyone, welcome back to another Sims 4 YouTube video. Today I promised that it was going to be an exciting video, and it is because we are checking out Pandasama's newly updated childbirth mod, the realistic childbirth mod. A few days ago, there was an update for the NICU update. You are now allowed to have your own NICU in The Sims. There's so many changes to this mod that instead of just listing them all out, we're going to go do a quick gameplay with it. I did also want to note that I downloaded some extra mods to make gameplay a little easier with this mod, because when your Sims give birth to their babies, they will go into the incubator, and with the incubator you can't really move it unless going into build/buy mode. But if you have this mod by Twisted Mexi, I will have all of this linked in the Patreon. It's the live drag cheat mode where you can basically just drag any item in live mode and not have to worry about going into build/buy mode. So that's my only thing, as to make sure to download that because it makes it a little easier. I've been playing with that and it's such a relief to not have to go into build mode, because if you're at a hospital, it is very difficult to get into build/buy mode and then back to live mode. Anyways, enough of me rambling. Let's get into today's mod review. All right, I have my minions here. These two, Lexi and Bruno, are together. They're married, and this is Lexi's mom. There's a reason that we have a mother in this video today, but I will keep you guessing as to why. Firstly, we gotta get Lexi pregnant. All right, there we go. She's pregnant. But what we want to do is go to the hospital to get checked out. There's a reason we're going here to get checked out, because there's a few new things within the mod where it comes to actual like early pregnancy, complications. Your Sims can have placenta abruptions or PPROM, which we'll get into a little bit. I think I'll just gonna take her alone, because sometimes bringing other Sims just like is not the vibe. All right, so this is the hospital that I'm working with. There's a reason why we are in build mode. I've always got a reason to be in build mode, but basically just type in, the testing cheats true code and then bb.enable free build, and you'll be able to get into build mode on a hospital property to change it. A couple things I want to know. I'm not going to run through all of the stuff with the mod. The most important thing is this NICU update. So if you are giving birth to multiple Sim babies, like if your Sims can be pregnant up to 3 babies, place down more than one incubator, because then it will allow for your Sims to be born in the incubator. Now, there's a lot to explain with this stuff, and we're just gonna take it one step at a time. But just have like multiple NICU like incubators down if you want your Sim 4 babies to be in an incubator. If not, you can set down a bassinet and they'll randomly spawn between like the incubators, and like let's say you had the bassinet there might be a baby born there or in these incubators. The other thing with these incubators is you can change their print. I thought this was pretty cool. You've got this little like flower one, you've got a dinosaur, you've got frogs, or like these watermelons. So you don't have to be, not saying white is boring, but I'd much rather have like, the cool little prints for the incubators. And then a few other things to note with, your newborns or your preemies, essentially, is we've got a couple updated stuff for your preemie care. So while you're in the hospital, if your Sim does go into early labor, we're going to go ahead and go into custom content and then kind of exit out of this and hit show all, because you have this new Nutra Neo special formula, which I honestly would make like a little area for like your preemie babies if there's more than one, or maybe you just want to make it like a little cute NICU. I also added some like breast pumps, because when I was playtesting it, my Sims were still breastfeeding, like they were lactating, so like they were spilling all over themselves, and I was like, this cannot be comfortable for you. The other thing to note, there's a reason why I put all this stuff down, is we also want to look up iron. Now I find that the iron doesn't pop up when you hit on custom content, but rather pops up when you look it up. This is if your babies get anemia. Yes, your preemies can be born with 3 different types of conditions. They can be born with jaundice, pneumothorax, where their lungs collapse, or anemia, to where they'll need the iron added into their milk. What we're going to do first is, because the chances of your Sim having a, pregnancy complication is quite slim. I'm going to go into the cheats menu. So I'm just going to shift click on my sim. You'll see this childbirth settings. This is how you get to it through testing cheats true when you type it in that white bar. Now, all of this stuff will pop up that you can go into and choose what you want, but the main thing is this pregnancy complication. What we want to do is you can disable it. You can give the placenta rupture, which will, have your sim give birth prematurely if, the Sims game, activates it, because it's all random, but this stuff is pretty low. And then we can give the PPROM, which is what I'm going to do because this one is a bit more exciting. Well, they're not exciting. These are health issues. But, with PPROM, it can start, whether like you're in your first, second, or third trimester in The Sims, I'm pretty sure. So we're going to go ahead and give that to her. So now that she's, laying down, getting that ultrasound. But they're going to go in and basically do the ultrasound like we've seen before. If you've never seen the childbirth mod, then this is probably new to you, but we have one healthy baby, which is good. If you had multiples, you could do an early induction on the actual app on the phone. You can click for your Sims to do early induction, which I really love. They'll go into a C-section so that you don't have to have your Sims, pregnant for the full term. You can have, more storyline choices, but because we only have one Sim, I'm just gonna keep it, or one baby, I'm just gonna keep it like that. But in a minute, it should give us our diagnosis. The doctor's going to be explaining, listen, you've got issues. Yeah, see right here. And they'll get a moodlet as well. So it says up top, your ultrasound results indicate a potential risk for PPROM, which means the membranes around the baby could rupture earlier than they should. This condition can lead to various complications. So it's important. I wasn't done. So it's important that you consider getting corticosteroid. You know what? We've learned on this channel that I can't pronounce anything to help your baby's lungs mature and prolong your pregnancy. So you can, no harm in not doing it. You can do it. You don't have to do it, but she does have this moodlet right here that she is scared, as she should be. But if you wanted to do the shots, you can go up to, oh, I'm dragging everything. You can go up to a doctor and basically get that shot. That steroid shot. So we'll do that. You don't like video games. We're not here to play. Okay. Anyways, she'll sit here and she'll get her shot. And then it says, we've administered the cortisone to help your baby's lungs mature more quickly. This will help prevent infections and prolong your pregnancy. We don't want her to go into preterm labor, do we? I hate to break it to you, Lexi, but you will be going into preterm labor. Anyways, we're going to go home now after, her ultrasound. And you can come back and do the ultrasounds and check on the, PPROM. You don't have to get the shot either, like I said, but you can come back, every day on their trimesters. Like for me, because I play with a longer lifespan, I normally have my Sims pregnant for 6 days. So they're in a trimester for 2 days at a time. So you might want to go back and check on it and play that gameplay with it. But for the sake of this mod review, we're going to go ahead and bump her to the 3rd trimester. I'm going to have my Sim go into preterm labor. So what we're going to do is this can happen randomly, or this can happen from your own will. So we're going to shift click on my Sim again, go back to childbirth settings, go back into pregnancy complications. And because we're in the 3rd trimester when this would happen, we can go ahead and trigger these premature births. Now, because we did the PPROM, which it might go away, it might not in your Sims 4 pregnancy, and they could go into early premature labor, I think, since we've seen this, let's go ahead and have her do a placenta rupture. And now she'll kind of get this window that pops up of preterm labor. Now we're going to click go to hospital. Now, if you don't want your Sim to go into labor, you do not want them in preterm labor, you might not want to deal with it. You might be like, no, this is not what I wanted. This is not, my storyline. You can click out of this window and it won't send your Sim to the hospital. But if you are someone like me who's here to make a mod review today, you're gonna go ahead and click that check mark. But we want to click on Bruno. We'll go ahead and click OK, and it'll ship us back to the hospital. Now that we're at the hospital, it's going to say that this is a serious and stressful situation, but we are here to provide the best care. We're going to go ahead and click on the bed up here and have my sim get an epidural because she's going to go into an emergency C-section because this is a complication and she needs immediate medical intervention. Once we get that all worked out, bro, stop talking. She's in a medical emergency. What I've noticed with these sims is they're not taking their health seriously. They'll be sitting out here for 2 hours with, a placenta rupture, just chatting away about, how's your Tuesday going? But she'll get the shot for the epidural. I've already reviewed some of this stuff, so I feel like a lot of this stuff is well known except for like the newer part of the update. Now your epidural can fail, but this one magically worked, thank goodness. But if it does fail, just go over here and ask for a, replacement. But since hers is working, we are good. She's got to wait for the epidural to take effect. There we go. We can hit give birth, and I guess we'll just click this doctor. See, you can see the incubator right here because when your sims give birth, the baby will go into the incubator. Like if it's a premature labor, you don't get to hold, your sim does not get to hold their child during the C-section like they normally would if it was a normal C-section. It's straight to the incubator. And the reason why I said the baby to have the live drag mod in your game, geez, I cannot speak today, is so that you don't have to go back into build mode, so that you can drag this incubator into whatever room you have. Now, you'll notice the red blinking. That means that the baby's in critical condition, and that is not good. So I'm going to pause the game because I'm going to take this child and put it in the room over here. Now, I'm going to put it... I think I'm going to put it right here and just leave that incubator in there. I'll move this bed over. There is a reason. There is a method to my madness, guys. I don't know if this is set up properly. We'll just leave it here. Now, you're probably wondering, Caroline, if I click on the baby, you're not going to be able to hold the baby. It's too weak to be held to do all this stuff with. These are some of the new options where we can't bond with the baby yet because, crucial part, guys, crucial part, you need to set a dining chair, not an outdoor chair, not a sitting chair, not any other chair. It needs to be a dining chair. If it's not a dining chair, c'est la vie to holding your baby. I'm going to show you how to set it up, which is why we're in this room. So we're going to go back into build mode. And by doing that, Control-Shift-C, a white bar will appear on your screen. I already have testing cheats true on, so what we're going to type in is bb.enable free build. When we enter this, you're going to have build mode reappear. And then we want a dining room chair. This is the chair section that I've been working with and everything works out fine. If you wanted to grab like a comfortable chair, you could do that. Like maybe, I don't know, would this work? This might work. This kind of screams hospital chair. Now, you see where the snapping is, how this, if I set it over here, it doesn't have that, light green shade to it. This is what you want. If it's not looking like this, how it's looking on that screen right there, it's not going to work. It's going to be no bueno. So we're going to click down on here, go back into, living mode. And then my sim can sit here. Because Bruno didn't give birth, why don't you go ask the condition for the child? See, because the baby is still blinking red, the condition is not, strong. But what we can do is have Amy come over here, or Lexi come over here, and basically bond with their baby. So she'll come over here and sit down with them on the chair. And as you can see, she's bonding with their baby. Look at how cute that is. If that doesn't scream cuteness, I don't know what is. Now, you can change the padding. I forgot to do that, but if you did have a build mode in, it says no physical content yet, because actually, if your baby is, quite delicate, the bonding with them or like physical touch can actually weaken them within this mod. Now, because we have no main issues with the baby, if you go ahead and pause your game and shift click again, you can give them the different, conditions after they're born. So if I wanted to, with jaundice, it's a blue light, so you can have them do the blue light, like the Billy light. The pneumothorax will do the, oxygen hood for their collapsed lung, I'm pretty sure it is. or anemia. Now, anemia deals with, obviously low iron, so I think we'll do that one. And I'll just have, Bruno ask the condition from the doctor again so that you can get that, we can see that little window as Lexi's, chilling with the baby. Now, your sim may or may not be, ready to breastfeed, which is why, milk pumps here, because you're able to pump your breast milk if you have one, which is why I took it in. Now you can see that there's a yellow, no. Oh my God. This is not what you're supposed to do, Lexi. Put the baby back down. Sometimes your sims will get up and like actively feed this baby. But as you can see, baby has anemia. So what we want to do is, as she's breastfeeding, this is why I put the iron here, is so that once she breastfeeds, once we get a bottle, Marco, you better not be coming in here. Marco, Bruno, stop. So intense. Anyways, I just need her to get a bottle. And then we can add, nope, Bruno, don't even think, okay. And then we can go over, once we have our breast milk, and add iron to the milk. You can also do this with the formula as well, but make sure if your baby has anemia that they're adding the iron to the breast milk. And then once she does that, you see the little drop. I don't know if you guys can see this. And then once she's got that, we can go over to the NICU tube feed milk. There'll be 2 of them. Make sure it's the one with the added iron. If it's not the added iron, it's not gonna, obviously help your baby. So we're gonna hit breast milk, and this is how it looks. And they just set it up like that, and then they're able to feed their preemie. So you can choose to do it with breast milk, you can choose to do it with formula, however you want to do, but you're able to, be able to, to feed them. Once she's changed the dirty diaper, because I don't trust my sims, I'm pausing the game. You can go into NICU and hold the baby once they're better. Now, you might be saying, Caroline, there's no light on here anymore. Does that mean you're good to go? It can be. It cannot mean that, because we want to see how the condition of the baby's doing. So I'm going to send Bruno back down. And as you can see, we've got Amy and Lexi. How cute is this? You can have your sim, as I take out a window, hold their preemie to get that, physical content, that skin to skin that they weren't able to do during, the C-section, when normally if it was a regular pregnancy in the sims, they would be able to like hold their baby on their chest. They still have anemia. That's why I bring up the fact that that they might not be ready to go home yet. So again, what we can do, because we have another one of that breast milk, we can come over here and no, Lexi, you're messing with my happiness right now. You got to be careful with them. They'll go in for the kill. And that's not a glitch. That's just the sims, because they're coded a certain way that you just got to make sure that they're not going to feed the kid. They just make sure they feed it with what they need, is the milk with the iron in it. Now, there is another thing that you can do within the new Pandasama childbirth mod. Now, I actually haven't been able to get this thing to work, which is why I brought in the mother. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift click it, because within the first 24 hours, your sims should be able to get a phone call and have their family visit them at the hospital and meet their, the grandkid or whatever it is to the family. So I'm going to try and trigger it. So now we've got Lexi calling her daughter, and it says, we're overjoyed for you. Can we drop by the hospital to see your little one? I'm going to hit okay. And then you can choose, how many sims you want. So you can invite up to 8 sims, but this is perfect because you might have beef with some of your family members. You might not want them to come to the hospital, but we're going to go ahead and click on my sim's mom. And then she is going to be coming over to the hospital to meet her grandbaby, which, if this doesn't excite you, I don't know what will in The Sims. Now she's over at the hospital. Don't worry about Amy being in the daycare. She's right. She's right here. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna ask to say hi to the baby for Lexi, and she should hopefully come up here. I'm not sure what she's wearing. A bathing suit? Bruno, what are you doing? He's acting like he gave birth. So I'm pretty sure within, I think it's small talk, you can discuss baby care. You're able to receive greeting card. They have greeting cards that you can get. So, if your sim, obviously gave birth, they can have like little greeting cards that their family's able to give to them if they want to give it to me. Yeah, let me receive the greeting card, please. I'm a little blind, guys. All right, so it's in the inventory. We got it, and we can open it. And then it says, welcome to parenthood, where the days are long, but the years are short, and the coffee is always lukewarm. Congrats. Now, you can change this to however you want it to say, but once you open it, there's like 13, I think, 13 different ones that you can get, but it's like a little flower, you know, and it just has like a little symbolish, but it'll tell you who it's from and, you know, the little note inside. And then I don't know where La Suita went. Yeah, the family visits may or may not be a good thing, but you can also, you know, receive their congratulations as well through the small talk. So as you can see here, it says, we're thrilled for you, enjoy every moment. There's a few like different buffs too that they can get, you know, from their family being at the hospital. Again, they're able to share their birth experience as well to kind of, you know, let their family, you know how it went. Yeah, now they're talking about the birth. Yeah, I just think it's so cute that you're able to now have that, you know, when your babies are born, if they're, you know, if it's preterm labor, your, you know, family's able to come over and visit them. And now it doesn't have to be like forever. You can always send them back home whenever. But I do want to check up on Amy's condition, because if she has gotten better, we can begin the discharge process. Where is she? Oh, I didn't know the doctor was out here. Kind of stressed me out. I thought she was going home. I thought she was like, I'm done. So the baby has improved conditions. You can either continue or you can just say, you know what, I'm done with my hospital stay, and you can get discharged from the hospital. So I'm going to send her back down to get discharged again. They'll talk with the person here and say, you know what, I'm done. You know, the kid's fine. We're good to go home. And it says you are discharged, and wait a little bit and it'll send you back home. Sometimes you got to wait a little bit. If not, you can always hit the M button. Sometimes they got to finish the conversation, but we're going back home. And now we are back home from our adventures. Mom is still in the bathing suit, but the child should be here somewhere. You know what? I can just click on the kid. Oh, here she is. And now your baby is full size again. So the preemies are smaller than, you know, the actual newborns, but now you are good to enjoy your Sims 4, you know, parenthood and their new baby at the house. So that wraps up everything. I know this video was quite long. I actually don't know how long it was because I haven't edited it yet, but this mod has completely blown me out of the water. Each update just keeps on getting better and better. Can't stress to you enough how much fun this is. This is an early access, so it does come out September 17th, I'm pretty sure. I think I forgot to mention that in the beginning of the video. But with that being said, again, I highly recommend getting the live drag mod by Twisted Mexi, where you can actually like drag items in live mode. So the incubator, you don't have to keep on going into build/buy mode. I think the only reason that you would probably want to do that is to change the actual, you know, sheet color for it, but again, makes it 10 times easier with that mod to navigate the incubators and be able to move them and all that. But with that all being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video. I know it was a bit of a long one, but I appreciate your support. Hopefully you were able to get excited for this mod, whether you have early access or you're waiting. Hopefully this gave you a little bit of, you know, an insight as to what to expect when the mod does go public. But till then, if you want to see more mod reviews like this, don't forget to hit that like button and comment down below. If you never want to miss another YouTube video like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your push notifications so you never miss another video on this channel again. And with that, thank you all so much, and I will see you all on Monday.